Chupacabra build, whatever number this is. It's been a while since we posted anything. Several reasons for that. One, I've been pretty dang busy here. A couple of back surgeries later and another one scheduled. And before we get into this, do some administrative stuff. What I want to do here, I've got a Bluetooth, green tooth, whatever this thing is. They tell me this thing sends sound to that, so we're going to see if we can improve the video on our audios with that. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to cover some things, kind of go over everything in general. Then I'm going to try to film another couple of videos tonight, but I'm still limited to 15 minutes on YouTube. I guess I still have the economy version of that, but probably a good thing anyway. This is like looking at elite clips into the sun. I don't want to give you more than 15 minutes at a time, or it'll burn your eyeballs. So making several of them 15, that's a good plan. Let me set my margarita down here. Let me show you a couple of things. Before we get on the car, I want to show you we've got our A-arms on here. Well, let me pull that jack handle off. Pull that jack handle off. Got our A-arms on here. I had them powder coated to match the powder coat that came on the Willwood brakes. When I made those, I want to show you some stuff over here because I've been leaving it in the floor and I'm ready to get it out of here. I'm ready to sweep my floor up and clean this mess. Well, actually, my camera lady will sweep my floor up and clean my mess up. But yes, baby. Anyway, those A-arms. Ordered a bunch of bent DOM tubing from my buddies at Tube Service Company in Irwindale, California. Carmen there takes good care of me. They've been going to PRI and SEMA for a long time. But this is DOM tubing so that the inserts will go in the end of it. Well, I'm going to get to that later. I'll cover that in more detail later. But anyway, it's cheaper to buy this already bent than it is to buy tubing and bend it, and my bender doesn't have a sharp enough die and so forth. But this is my strap pile for all of that. Now all that can go in the trash. This is my strap pile for all my lizard skin. 6 gallons of soundproofing and heat proofing and overcoating went onto that chassis. This is the lizard skin ceramic insulation, lizard skin sound control. 6 gallons. You can paint a small house for that. Coming over to the car, you can see I've been pretty busy on it. It's the first project in my life, first car I've ever built. Again, my camera lady says, "When are you going to start wrenching on that thing? When can we wrench on it? You've been, for 8 months now, you've been drawing on a computer and watching a CNC machine run and throwing stuff in the trash. When are you going to build a car and turn a wrench?" And it took 8 months into this project to do it. But once we had that chassis painted, it has fallen together. I've got about 40 hours in it here, and I've got another 30 or 40 hours in the wiring. But this thing is 20 to 30 hours away from being driven around the block. You can see we've got the engine in. We've got the exhaust in. These are not in quite yet. We've got most of the electrical in. We've got our DOT stuff. I'm going to talk some more about that later. Got all the support stuff for the engine in, the alternators in, alternator bracket, air conditioner bracket, wiring on the engine. Come around here and check the butterflies. Come look at it while I'm thinking about it. This is way cool. Come up here and check and see the butterflies. Let me push the gas pedal down. Boom, 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 boom.
Do it again.
Do it again? The whoom whoom? You can see the wiring coming up. Most of the wiring's done. The only wiring that's not done is here on the console. Cables are run. Shifter cables are run. The other cables are run. Most of the dashboard is wired. Air conditioner's in. Air conditioning's run. I want to show you something over here. See the carpet in here? See the light gray inserts here? We talked about the coffers, the way we've done that, and that sits down in a recess in the chassis itself. Tell me when I get to about 12 or 13 minutes on this, so that we can stop that and start another one. This carpet, this is a real good look. I like that, but I started out, I thought, you know, I just want to go a shade lighter than that black. So I got dark gray carpet. Look right down here. This is actually a carpet piece. And you can see there's not enough contrast difference here. This is the lighter stuff. This is the darker stuff. So I had all this carpet cut. That, like everything else on this car, is going to be ripped out. I left two pieces of the dark stuff in here so you could see it in contrast to the light stuff. But like I have said many, many times, you can build a pretty decent car on what I've thrown away here. Here's all the dark colored stuff. Here's all the pieces that were cut for it, and here's the trash can. There's the last two pieces that I'm going to replace there. The lighter colored stuff. The dash is in, that's done. Got the in keeping with the theme of the car, to make it brutal and mechanical but elegant at the same time. You've seen before the wiring harness that I made and the fuse box. It's in, it's done. Had some interesting things on it. You go this way. Let me go around this way. Get some light up here. Air conditioning lines, heater hose lines, radiators in, radiator fans, air conditioning condenser, all that's in and done. See my lines right here. These are the brake lines. That's the air conditioner drain right there. The steering's in, the steering column's in, everything's in. Front A-arms are dummied up and done. Windshield washer bottle. No, windshield washer bottle. So forth. How long is that?
7.
Oh, okay, good deal. All right.
8.
So you can kind of see an overview of the car, of what all we've got done. Let me just start at the front and work backwards here. AFCO radiator. Interesting thing on the radiator, the cinder unit that usually goes into a radiator right here is a ground unit that turns on your fans, and you get those set at a particular degrees, you know, on at 180, 190 degrees or whatever, and it turns electric fans on. Well, that's usually great, except this chassis isn't grounded to anything. I've got 3 junction boxes that everything goes to ground and then runs back to the battery on. There's one of them right under the fans there. But this thing won't ground anything, so I've had to put that back in the engine block, which the engine block is grounded on it. Got my fans here, horn, so forth. Built a little plate right here to make my hoses look neat. These hoses are a stainless steel RPC product. The Gates hoses that are the high pressure radiator hoses that can be bent are about $20-something a foot. This stuff's about $10 a foot, and it's a whole lot nicer. Plus you can bend it like that and it'll stay bent that way. The Gates stuff's real hard to bend. Just right here, the spare tire goes right in here like this. And here it goes right in there like that. Got all my air conditioning lines run. Those air conditioning lines are from Old Air Products right here in Fort Worth. Specialty company makes air conditioners for for hot rods and street rods. I much prefer them over Vintage Air down in San Antonio because the box, the unit itself, is so much more compact. It can fit under a dash like this. See here, I've gone to some trouble to get my lines looking pretty here. This is a vent, or the drain hose. You know, when you see a puddle of water under a car from the air conditioner, this is a hose here, and I just did that kind of nice. This is the electronic valve for the heater. There's my ballast for the headlights. You can see the rack and pinions in. All the steering is in. This is a double U-joint. See, there's a joint here and a joint here. This is a single U-joint down here. You've got to have that double one to make it work. But what happens when you have a single U-joint at either end, that shaft can't go anywhere. This point and this point's fixed. When you go to a double one up here, you have another point here that can wobble around. So you must put this intermediate piece, support piece here, to support that, and that's from Rod End Supply, and these are actually made a little big to get that double D in there, but that supports that. This bracket here is part of it. Everything's great. What I want to show you on all this steering assembly, I have a complete assembly. There's the rack and pinion, the U-joints, the steering column. It's an RPC Pinto copy of a rack and pinion, which is the thing on every hot rod, street rod. That's about $100. Those Borgeson U-joints would be over $100 a piece, bought from Borgeson. The RPC ones are about $20, $30 a piece. The steering column is a copy of an I Did It or an RPC. Those are $200, $300, $400. That's a $99 steering column. You got 1, 2, 3. A little over $300 invested in the whole steering column, and it's designed to all work together. This is called double D shafting. It's got a flat spot here. This is 1-inch double D. It's very, very common, very typical in street rod, hot rod stuff. Gets you away from all the old rag joint style of all the American cars and so forth. Very clean, very effective, very easy to work with and do. I've got my. This is the halogen, how much?
12.5.
Okay. This is the halogen bulbs here. You see the front A-arms here. One last thing real quick. See the extensions right here on the rack and pinion arms? Patriot chassis out of Oklahoma City. Nice chassis back when they were building chassis for these things, but they were taking Corvette rack and pinions and shipping them off to some factory and having all that lengthened to make it all the geometry work. Now, good grief, guys. Again, here's just a swaged radius arm from, again, Rod End Supply, $2 or $3 piece. And I said, man, just put that in, you accomplish the exact same thing with hundreds of dollars less trouble. So this is on this rack and pinion to come out to make all my geometry correct, and it's just a couple of buck piece. Okay. Let's stop right there, and we'll be right back with another one.